Hello and welcome to One Way, where we go one way and that's west. I'm getting a little bit of a bump because it's Wednesday and it's raining during lunch. Not sure about Thursday. That's a question mark too. Anyway, this is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen, otherwise it's held at a wide stance to prevent that from happening. But it comes at the cost of precision control, such as walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death. Although the pits of death thing, it could be a thing in itself, but I've gotten better at controlling it with the wide stance. But it's still not perfect. So it is Wednesday, and like I said, Thursday is also a question mark. My 2 breaks were good. Lunch, not so much. And I have been mentioning that maybe sooner than later we may get back to a normal washer-dryer phase where I'm in the basement. Yeah, that might not be a thing for a while. Because I'm reading up on other issues the dryer has, which I didn't think were big, but it's old, it's falling apart. Okay, do I have room for this? Yes. Still stuck on the 8-hour day thing, which kind of stinks, and we can't get there from here. There it is. That was worth it. Alright, and so now you get to hear my lovely voice. Things aren't perfect still, but manageable. Yeah, the first week that I kind of had the silent run. Yeah, like I said, still. I was just starting, I was at the peak of suffering. Then last week, it was getting less, but the congestion was pretty terrible. Still a little congested now, but as you can hear, I'm actually speaking, and you're getting less than stellar audio from the game itself. Lucky you. So yeah, it's looking like for the time being, maybe there's gonna be a wait. Maybe not. I just gotta look at things, see how much money I got. Plus now is also the time that I also start saving up the Christmas fund. Just so when things get rough, I don't have to worry about it. It has been a relatively rough, so far, second half of the year. Things are DEAD, or if I want to go with the West Side Story, DED, dead. But from what I heard, that if I were making decent money at an 8-hour shift, that I should be enjoying this time, because the work-life balance may go completely away, but on the plus side, money. The only good thing about the 8 hours is I've been able to set aside time to do my home renovation projects. I'm at the point that I need money to continue that, which I don't have. I also need money to replace a refrigerator and a dryer, because I read up on it. I'm caring more for the dryer than the refrigerator, because I got a mini fridge that it's a tide me over. It's a little bit of a pain that I gotta go to the grocery store almost every day for anything that needs to be, if I need anything frozen, which usually not, but. And certain items that I do get that are frozen, I put in the, the so-called, the chiller, or some people call it the freezer compartment, which not really. Stuff I put in there that's frozen and, will thaw out is apparently safe for a maximum of 2 days. I read up on that stuff prior to buying anything frozen that I'm not going to use right away. But pardon me, like I said, not fully over, but it's almost over. So, I could put the money, I think I got enough money aside to get a refrigerator, but the bigger thing is the dryer. Because I got a mini fridge, so like I said, I don't really need anything that big. It's a little bit of an inconvenience that I gotta go to the grocery store a little more often because of space limitations, but at least I have something versus a dryer, which I don't have, and that is costing me money. I believe a laundromat costs, if I did the math right, about twice as much as doing it at home. I gotta look up the numbers again. I think that's how it worked out. It cost me about, they say on average about $6.50 if you do it at home, versus, I forget what it, at the laundromat it cost me, let's see, the wash at the little laundrette I like to go to is $4.50, and then I put in a bunch of quarters for the dryer. It cost me about $8, so there's some savings overall. So I gotta keep an eye on the clock. I started my lunch walk, and then that's when Mother Nature decided to open the skies up a little bit. So it's not a full-blown lunch break that I'm using up. And the skies really opened up during my first morning break. I was like 2/3 of the way through my walk, and then the rains came. Oh, I put something in my inventory I don't want. Alright, we gotta move. More things we don't want. Well, this is going south in a hurry, but alright, so junk this, junk that. Can we sleep now? I notice how I press sword, but nothing happens. There we go. At least we'll get a little bit of a jump on the day. And we are going. I want to go more this way. The closer z-axis is to 0, the fewer precision errors on that axis, albeit minuscule, will occur, especially with the big elephant in the room, the negative x, or west, being just slightly more than what z is. I mean, we have been able to run. That's okay. I stopped because I didn't know if that was a pit coming up or a small drop. See, pits that come up like that, that one might have just stung a little bit. Better to not fall into one period. Hey, at least we're getting some good runs out of this, which definitely helps, being the situation that I'm in. Do we have a way out? Is this going to lead somewhere? Doesn't look like much. It's going the wrong way, but it looks a little more open this way, so. I mean, under 256 for the z-axis will be okay. Although this far out, it doesn't seem to matter as much, but oddly enough, the 2.1 million precision error where we were at, that somehow it made a difference. At that point, it was a quarter block precision, which still kind of makes you wonder why, but perfect. But is it any good? Yeah, like that's going to do anything. A little bit of a Dave Grohl there. Ooh, big pit over there. I was thinking of going a little further that way. Good thing I didn't. Decided to stop there just to be sure that it wasn't coming my way. And then the roofed forest, which I don't like, but we got water over here. Which hopefully gets us out of this. So yeah, I gotta watch the clock, because if I go too long, I lose money. And especially 8-hour days, not a good thing. Although at this point, for every minute I go over, I could just stay a minute over to make it up. But I'd just rather get home. Okay, you can move. There you go. Good enough. Yep, exit. Yep, jump. Alright, we may or may not make progress, but... Alright. There we go. Yeah, this far you gotta waggle the boat. Can't just make slight turns and progress. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, we're gonna go over the 256 mark, but... I don't think it makes a big difference out this far. At the 4.2 million precision error, which is what we're in. And we have to change entirely how things go when we get to 8,388,608. Because we cannot physically touch land. We have to be in or on something that is bigger than a block in size, or we'll fall through the world and croak. Alright, we're getting a little too far now, but if the river keeps going and more or less is moving in the direction we're wanting to go, not going way off to the side. I mean, we did go way off to the side, but it wasn't by a bunch. And then we come to a village. It is not liking it. Well, the loading in is a pain. Ooh, and we got a farmer, which is even better. He can't move. Oh, he snapped his way out. Yeah, we can keep going. Till now. Unfortunately, I could wind up losing my position and then fall off, which at this height, not a big deal, but not wanted. We can place. We shouldn't be affected by the water. Move the player. There we go. Basic job. How are you guys inundated like that? How many more beds do we... That's in the wrong position. One more if we can. Move the player. Oh, I don't like how these butcher up the terrain like this. Break. How much are we at the stone? Oh, quite a bit. Well, better than what could have been. Bad idea or not? Let's find out. Oh, of course it's a bad idea. Alright, so the sun is setting and we can turn. then we can get out. Nope, we can get out. It's getting dark, so might as well get a free bed. Plus, we got some supplies here if we were to die. Alright, it's almost worth stopping, but if we can get a little more distance in, let's see what we can do. Jungles, not always a fan. Flat ones are good. The less dense ones are good. Ones on the mountains are bad. Break. And yeah. All right, so we can just tower our way up. And I thought we would clear the tree, but it was a little wrong, but that's okay. That helped. It's a little cluttered, but... And we're... Oh, no, we're turning now. Do I want to go this way? 'Cause this way looks like it's less right now. Oh. All right. Getting out of this. All right. I might stop it before we go sailing. Well, all right, it's still not the best. And why are we not letting me move? Little Dave Grohl there. Yeah, it's getting a little late. So what I'm going to do is break. Gonna set ourselves up to start off the next segment whenever that might be. Whether it's at the laundromat or if we're getting rained out again tomorrow at some point. Yeah. Lunch break's pretty much over. So see you whenever that is, and maybe my voice will be just even that much better. Lucky you. We're back. It is Thursday, as advertised it was going. That we may lose some of Thursday. It's starting to look like we might lose all of it. So this is first break, then second break, then lunch. We say it was going to be a morning thing, but now it seems to be an all-day thing. On the plus side, we're getting a little further, and we're just into the 75-80 kilometer block, which is a nice thing. I mean, maybe, because washer-dryer phase is so much shorter at this moment, maybe we can hit 7.6 million before this episode's over. If the dryer belt didn't break over a month ago, we would definitely be probably midway through that at this point. And that is not where I wanted to go, but either way, we wind up here. Oh, we made that. Oh, water over here. Even better. Nice jump. Missed the button, though. When I missed the button, I admit it. And we're recentered. This way actually looks a little less hilly. Actually, we'll just board right here. Oh, we can remedy the ability to climb in a moment. Not exactly where I wanted to go, but it works. How about place? How about place? Oh, and it matters the most, it won't do it. Fortunately, we didn't have that issue. But we had... Alright, let's see. Move player, move player. I think we might have too many beds. Yes, we do. Alright, I miscounted. So we're just looking for a smithy, which is extremely rare in these desert villages, but they do exist. I do not see any here. And I got denied entry. Well, I'm going through anyway. Oh yeah, the chest is way up high, so nah, not worth the effort. Ooh. I think that might have been a deadly drop there. It went deep. I'm not 100% sure. That was a Dave Grohl. But I knew it wasn't anything horrible. How about place? I swear, if you're just a micrometer off, the button won't work. Your finger was 0.01 nanometers above the dead center of the button. Not recognized press. So of course these shorter breaks, the 15s, if we have to run slightly long, which you try not to, you can get away with it, but lunch definitely can't, because that is unpaid, and any minute that I spend that's a little too long, then every minute is money lost, and on a straight 8 paycheck is not really good. Granted, I could just stay a little late to make up any lost time, but I'd rather not. And we're getting into colder ocean territory now. So desert temple is not likely. piece of land. More land. But we're going for this little piece here. Pretty much the time in which to call it a night. There we go. Well, this isn't exciting, but again, it's the next fastest way in our objective to get to where we're going, and right in front of us is the fastest way to get to where we're going. Of course, if we were playing a normal game, setting up a nice road in the nether is the fastest way to go, but that's not how the objective here works. You have to spend time making that, and the time we're spending is getting to where we're going. Alright, yeah, actually, oh, yeah, it ended, but you know what? It cooperated. That was a big help. Okay, move the player. How about this time I did hit the jump button, but again, because I was 1 micron off, yeah, it'll just be faster to do this. Yeah, at this point, if we can keep momentum, it would have been faster. To just keep moving, but we can't. Alright, we're high enough that we can just move to find the next ice river, which... Alright, how do I want to approach it? Of course, not the way I want. Nope. Alright, that's not going to help us. Well, we made quite a bit of progress for 15-minute break. Micro jumping is also not helpful. I stopped because I thought that might have been a pit, which I think this may be, and it is. Well, I thought I was just outside of this. Alright, why are we not letting me move? Because I'm half blocked, that's why. Yeah, I'm not going to go that way because... Move the player. Okay, no ducking. Player moves now. Nice jump. Glad you actually didn't do your job again. Kinda worked. Alright, that's not gonna work. But this will. Wow, I do not like... Break. Don't like how things suddenly went worse here. Of course, I need to move, so let's prevent that. I'm sure you probably can hear it raining outside because I found that, yeah, when it's raining somewhat hard, at least break, that it is audible from in the video. It sounds more like white noise, but you do hear it. Okay, that's not gonna work. We're gonna move the player. All right, we're getting to a point we gotta stop. Break. In fact, if we can move the player, again, we do this so we don't fall through the world and die if we're not an exact block, half block increment, which sleep also does provide that safety. So, yeah, chances are we'll see you next break. So, till then. And we're back. We're already quite a ways through the... and I'm paying attention where I'm going, and not as much and the rabbits fall through the world and die. Terrible. Already almost midway through the 75-80 kilometer block, which is pretty good. Train hasn't been 100% cooperative, but it hasn't been too bad, and we can move the player. It's not the block I wanted, but it's not hurting anything. And micro jumping, perfect, just what we want. Alrighty. Ooh, landed right in the middle of that patch, which is good. That spider, not good. How about over here? And can we get to the water? I'd like to move the player. Yes, we can. Good. We could place it on the water, speaking of. Once again, I switched to sword, but it didn't take. Not that it matters, because we need to switch to boat. So we can take this little piece relatively quick. Ooh, that almost lined up perfectly. Not quite. We have a speedy way, but there's a not so speedy thing in the middle. I don't know why that block placed where it did. Yeah, we can jump. Press the button. In fact, I pressed it exactly in the same spot twice, and the first time it did jump. Oh, over here. A little more. This way. Alright, that didn't really go anywhere. Can we get out of there? Yeah, we can. Over here. Yep, jumping. Actually, that was a pretty good call, because now we have an opening. It's taking us towards and probably past the 256, but if it means speed, we'll do it. Doesn't seem to be as problematic. Okay, good. No swim, just get on the shore. Place the boat. No. Speed time. This is not speed time. This is not where I'm going. Alright, there. Right in the middle. Alright, a village, if we can just move the player a little bit. Village, good. Yeah, I'm swinging. That was a spike lag. A pretty good one. These are the type that usually have smithies. But I'm not seeing it, so we need 2 beds. And of course, I've mentioned before, I gather the beds from the villages so we don't have to rely on killing sheep, although we kill enough sheep to get 63 wool. Yeah, 63 wool. So that, yeah, okay, none of these are smithies. As I was saying, 63 wool, which is the perfect number because we can get an even number of beds out of 63, but not so at 64. We would have 1 left over. And I know 21 is not an even number per se, but that the stack of 63 gets divided evenly into 21. Oh, this was actually a pretty good little bump. That was a very good bump. I mean, it may not be one of those epic, long-winded bumps, but that's still a very good bump. Anything where we could fly on ice. And is this a pit of death? It looks like it is. So we'll do this. Place, place, place. How come we're not placing? Because of that, really. Place. Fortunately, north-south we can do that easily. East-west not so much. Because of our ability to easily move north and south, we could fall off and die. But being that the lateral movement was east-west, we would be okay. That's not going to help us. That will. Hell, Dave Grohl over there. So the second break getting ruined. Well, they were saying where I live, there was a chance of potential flooding, but it looks like the rain has moved east enough that homeland's just going to get a little wet. Here, on the other hand, they're saying there's a flood warning. A little further east. Okay, this way, this way. No. Nope. Actually, over here looks pretty good. And there. Need to check the watch. Okay, we're still pretty good. I think we might be able to get a second sleep in because that sunset was very close to the beginning. Alright, this is not doable. Alright, now we're in another speed zone. Very hard to do when you got a speed limit to worry about. That is, you have to exceed 5 blocks per second. And not where I really wanted to go. Well, we're at 40 blocks of collected dirt anyway. And yeah, we need to remove one. Yeah, it's just going to be faster to do this. In fact, here comes that second sunset. Village. Ooh, I got lucky. It went the wrong way, but it landed on a half-block increment. We do not need any food. You are not a help. I cannot open doors facing east-west. I could just plow right through them. Looking for buildings that look like smithies, which I do not see any of. We're jumping when we press jump buttons. That one might be. Oh, this is the building of uselessness. No, over here. Move the player. Nothing here. We're pressing the X. I'm going to wake the villager so we can just borrow it for this particular little save point. We don't have, there's not much here, so if we were to die, we don't want to, but if we did, we should be able to recover nicely. And this is a smithy. There it is. I knew if I eventually hit it. There we go. 9. That means another one of these. And we're jumping. Now I gotta pay attention to the clock. It's getting a little close towards the end of the break. Ooh, nice. Right in the middle. And jumping. Wow, I love how I press the jump button and nothing happens. It's beautiful. Alright, I see an opening over there. So, boat. Oh, I hate when it's narrow like this. But if we can make it work, good. It turned into mountains. This is not where I wanted to go, but it comes close enough to where I want to go. Want to move one more, fewer blocks we need to grab. Yeah, we're also getting to a point we need to put down a boat to save us. Break, pressing the button, might mean do the job. Pressing the jump, didn't stop. Alright, now we're getting into territory I don't like. Yeah, I'm in the territory that we're going to have to hurry. Alright, just keep holding down the jump button. I don't know why I keep thrashing at it. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to point the boat in place. There we go. Point it this way so we remember this is the way we're going next. And lunch is likely to get rained out as well, so maybe see you then. And we're back. It looks like there's greener pastures ahead. So, of course, we'll just do our advancement thing, just so the big number gets a little bigger as we head towards the greener pastures. And that was a failure. Here we go. And yeah, I missed the jump button, yet somehow it worked before. And a village. And Dave Grohl. I don't like it when it stalls like that. I don't trust you. It's not a deep drop, so going over that little bit I was okay with. Let's see if we get smithies. How many beds do we need? The answer is 0. We're pressing the X. We're looking for farmers. There's one. And we can move the player. Hey, any experience we can get. Boo. But that's not in the direction we're going anyway, so. Oh, yeah, it is. But it's the shortest here, so. I guess we'll be going up the mountain over here, where it's slightly less painful. And I mean slightly. Alright, so yeah, over here. And a little over here. Alright, so AT&T had to come in with a might have been a relatively private style message, which, yeah, great. Since I don't run this game very long, I don't worry about the battery depletion, so I keep the phoning along. And as soon as I get into those, we go back into them. Just in case. And no way up from here, so. We've made such progress. Only for it to die here. Alright, we've reached the top. It was a bit of a struggle, but we got there. This is a place we definitely don't jump to keep the speed going. Because, yeah, we might Shaun White it rather than Dave Grohl it. Alright, now, okay, go. Go. And we're not moving because we're in a block. That might be why. Alright, I guess once again we'll be better off going up a mountain. Little less impedance. Especially this particular piece. I mean, we almost got to the top just climbing the sides. Yeah, a little too far, but that's fine. Can we once again switch this and watch it turn back into snow? Because it can. Because it will. Trying to go where there's less of a deep declination in elevation. Now beginning to wonder if it was a good idea. Now, why are we swinging swords? I don't remember pressing that. I remember pressing move the player. That I do remember. Break. Ooh, nice little spot here. Yep, we can... No, we're not going to be able to move. Yep, jumping. Yep, move the player. Well, that was a little decent run in a thick forest. Got over that little gap, which that's all it was. Didn't know if it might have been something bigger. I'm going to see how this mountain range is forming. Alright, it's getting worse on that side. It's not getting worse on this side, but what sucks is we have water regardless. And forward. There we go. Does this continue? Or is it just flatlands that get mountainy? Looks like the latter. Yep, it's just doing what I don't want, and there's a project village up there. However, if this mountain is, fairly within its elevation, then we're good. If we were desperate, then why are we not lagged again? And so I'm playing on my 50th birthday world, which I know you haven't seen all that many videos from it for the past 3 years, but everything is a big project. And I do have, I think now it's been going for a year now, the so-called quick video I was going to post. And let's make some torches so we can get a bed. And how about jump? I have too many. Now, if I had a little less of a full drumstick there, then I would come and make a trade. But that's not going to happen. Especially with that. Now I have that, and I got my bed that I need. Alrighty here. Okay, this may be a bit of a tough drop, so this will be fine. It'll be okay. You gotta keep an eye on the clock. Because like I said, the lunch breaks. If we're late, I lose time. I can make it up by staying later, but I don't want to do that. Oh, look at that. Less than 500 blocks from the 75-90 kilometer block. And there were 200 blocks. I'm just looking at the singles and tens digits, which, no, not correct. I know it's going to put us past the 256, but I see a speed zone, and it's in this area. Although I see, yep, we're jumping. Alrighty. Get to this area. No, over here. See if we can gain a little distance here. Nope, yep, okay. You did let go. That's the important part. Alright, it's going to end, so let's just bed here, bed there, and sleep. There it goes. So if we go a little this way, if we can gain a little this way. And my position changed. There we go. Well, that helped a little bit. We're in the 75-90 kilometer block, so that's a good thing. Wait till last minute to see if the land is forming to either side to make a decision which way to go. So barring anything bad, we should hit the 7,600,000 region. And generally I ignore these. That just is, yeah, just junk. It was exposed, so there was a chance that maybe we could get something useful. That didn't happen. And move the player. No, I don't want to see that. And I don't have a choice. Move the player. Not micro-inching it, but moving. No, that's not going to work. Why are we whacking stuff? We don't have a way. Now we do. Move the player. Not micro jump. Move the player. Quite a difference. Well, I thought that was low enough, but apparently not. Stop the micro jumping. I don't want micro jumping. It does not move the player. Well, that was a short-lived, awful biome that we went through. Helps that we were able to go over the treetops. Yeah, player can go forward. Ooh, that kind of hurt a little bit. Actually, no, we'll just swim to this side. Break. Well, I was gonna say another plains where we can run free, but then that pit showed up. All right, it's getting close to the end of the workday. Well, not the workday, but the end of my final lunch break, so just gonna, again, to prevent from falling to my death on respawn, sit myself in a boat, just move it slightly over the edge, and see you whenever next time is. Washer dryer phase at the laundromat, or now there's a question, maybe the morning tomorrow will be messed up. I don't know, we'll find out. Wrong way. Washer dryer phase. Oh, the sun was setting. My luck. I'm changing how this works a little bit, which I'm surprised I haven't done in the very beginning. Well, that's when lunch ended, so we kind of had to stop there and call it good. What's going to change is once we see land, if it's a little too late to land there, is set up an area close, but not there. So we're looking for the closest land and setting up just short of it. There's some land. Don't know if it'll be smart to go up to it. Oh, it's a tiny mushroom island. We're still going to put a torch down, just so we can see. So we're safe. And we can make 4 more of those and sleep. Now, if this mushroom island were way bigger, then we would run the length of it till the very end, because unless there is a lush cave that is exposed within the mushroom biome, monsters do not spawn in them. And yeah, washer dryer phase is probably in a laundromat. It's probably going to be a thing for quite a while. After reading about all the symptoms of things that need work on a dryer, yeah, the belt snapped, but apparently some of the other things that it does, like the loud start that you always hear, and there's a village, but we're here first. The loud start that it makes and calms down, that's a sign that the roller wheels are going bad, and that's another big item. Oh, good, it didn't take the last one. Always got to be sure, you never know. Sometimes bad things are in these. One more. Then this. And now. El Junco. Good. And good enough to do another one. That isn't too bad. And that. These two. And this one, just so we can make that a thing. Then not pay attention how many beds we need. Oh, well, wasn't exactly showing. We need 3. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, a little more this way. Over here. Over here again. And now we're good. We need 3 beds. That's 1. Let's see. And we need the stick. That's 2. And 3. Yeah, we're good with the beds. Alright, and there's nothing really here, so. That was a bit much. Hard to tell at times. Well, we got a little something. It wasn't the greatest, but... And up there. And boat. Alright, nothing over there, so... The only good thing about this for you guys is that the time that these run is a lot shorter because, of course, this commercial stuff can do things a lot faster than your residential stuff. There's no easy way back up on this until we get to about here. Yeah, the paradox, shall we? Okay, it's starting to go a little too far. The paradox was, do we keep going and just go for speed? Or do we stop and See if anything might be on this island. For a minute I thought that was a temple. I don't know now. Since it's a little easier over this way that I just before this, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit or backtrack a little bit more. Yeah, that looks a lot like, that did look an awful lot like there was another, nice jump, another desert temple, but it wasn't. I also forgot to charge this phone because I usually do that before I hit the laundromat. Oh, seriously? Since we cannot surpass 5 blocks per second swimming, this is the way we gotta make it happen. Because the boat was placed too far. Is that enough? Should probably aim up now. Board that boat. But it might be stupid to go any further for the moment. Place a bed over there so that we're a little closer to the target. There we go. I mean, yeah, this game has serious lag issues now, because I've noticed in my 50th birthday world, like I said, you haven't seen any videos for a few years, because all the projects are big, is that vibrant cataracts, as I call them, under the normal biomes, the tinge of yellowish tinge to make it look like regular sun, the normal sunlight. That actually looks pretty decent. But what kills it for me is this unnecessary coloring, especially the desert. They make it way too yellowish, whereas when you're in a plains biome and it's next to a desert, it looks right, it looks natural. think the unnatural coloring that they do for the individual biomes is just not very good. It doesn't look good at all. I lost a bed. But I lined myself up to get out of here. Okay, go. Keep going. I know sometimes you look and say, just go in the water, you can go faster. Out this far, the speed you travel in a boat and running is the same. So if you're doing about, I think it's 10 blocks per second at this point. It's not the way it's supposed to normally go, but out this far, that's what it is. Once you break the 5 block per second minimum speed, you're doing 10. And of course, in a boat on ice, you're able to slow down to 5, just above 5, and then forward progression ceases to continue. That is east and west. Versus running, well, it's instant start, instant stop, and you have to, of course, as you see, every time I start running, I jump first because you have to break the 5 block per second barrier, and your running speed is about 5 blocks per second, which is why people bunny hop, is to go faster. And bunny hopping that one time makes you go, what is it, like almost 6 blocks per second or something like that, which satisfies the requirement to be able to move. Once again, another village. I mean, we could use the desert temples instead. Oh, speaking of, I speak, one appears. And this time it actually does appear. We can move the player. Not terribly interested in the village. Although once we get to this point, we, of course, 1 block away. Actually, it's good enough. We're just looking for the rare smithy that once in a great while will pop up in these. And it doesn't look like it has. So, good jump. Yeah, like that's gonna work. Yep. Okay, we need to move the player. There we go. Good enough. Of course, we gotta check to be sure that it's safe. And, okay, we didn't undershoot. I mean, that's something. A little something. Yeah, we're almost at the maximum there. Alright, not exactly helpful. And I don't... Yeah, we don't... Pressing. Yeah, we could use some diamonds. And yes, iron will help with some things. Although I'm sure we're going to lose most of it, because I'm sure there'll be a death prior. prior to any or most of its need. Dime a dozen. Of course, we put me where I didn't want to be. At least there's an on. At least there was a way on. Again, we don't really need it. We got beds. We're not terribly low on food. Keep going. Alright, we got a little piece over here. Oh, nope. Just a little piece over here. And there is a buried temple. Right there. That one might be an issue. And we're jumping. Yeah, this one might be an issue. Okay, I cannot reach that. Move. Move the player. Oh great, we're stuck under here. Yep, break. And we're stuck under here. Move the player. We're actually safe. Break. Uh-oh. Got one too much of something. I guess we can get rid of the apples for now. Once we regain, we can make more. But right now, we'll just get rid of them. Again, nothing really that great. In fact, well, a bit too late now, but we know we can get out this way. Yeah, I got one bed too many. Maybe we can jump when the jump button's pressed. Alright, I wasn't sure about that area. Okay, again, I wasn't sure if that was just a little nice jump. Press the button, nothing happens. I think it was a micrometer off. Alright, it's almost time for the dryer phase, so that don't sound right. Used that machine a couple weeks ago, and someone else used it last week, and it was fine. Plus, it's just the base it's on. Yeah, I think it might just be the shaking is just making the base move, and that's what that might be. All right. Almost ready for dryer phase. REoL. Oh, well, okay, we can get out. If we couldn't, we could use the dirt blocks. Yep, player can move. Yeah, I think something's got to go really, really wrong to not hit 7.6 million. Alright, this is not what I like. So what I will do, actually... all this to save some durability. I could have just went and boated my way across. Well, we found another village, but... and another desert temple! So this was worth it. Maybe. I hope. We're not taking another bed. Whoa. That was a bit of a jump. Alright, 3 minutes, so we... okay, yeah, best to probably not have gone at that point. Ooh, right at the opening. Yeah, I don't... yeah. I've been, bombarded a couple of times. So a bit skittish on entering right away. Hey, a diamond! More would be nice. Hey, another golden apple. Oh, we've reached our max there, so... Nope. Keep moving. And nothing. Pressing. Nope, jump. One more. There we go. And... yeah, we could use apples again. I do not see something that looks like a smithy, so... we're good on the bed, so... View from this side, it looks kind of dull and boring, so... actually, let's go this way. Another village! Wow, they're just coming up. So I'm just going to take the easy way, pressing. There we go. Yeah, it's down to its final minute, so to speak. How about the sword? Alright, we don't really need a bed right now. We're jumping. Perfect. Okay. So what we're going to have to do now, because it's done, and nice jump, is I'm going to set jump. Alright. Boat. Again, to keep us safe. We should have ate before grabbing. Oh well, a little waste there. See you at dryer phase. It's dryer phase. Dryer's not sounding very happy. Unfortunately, I put a boatload of money into it, so we're just gonna have to hope it holds up. Sounds like it's warming up. It's not shaking as much. Alright, let's just go down here and... well, at least get a little further out. This way. Okay, that land does not reach, but that land does. It's going to say reach the above the surface of the ocean. How about sword? How about the bed? Damn, the controls are dead on this game. Alright, we're almost at the 75-80 kilometer block. And another desert temple. I think we're okay if we come out here. In fact, we'll leave the boat. Actually, we're not okay. Actually, no. Board the boat. Right at the door. Will it be worth doing? Oh, we went a little too far. The important thing is we're not at the center. That's real bad. And we got our fill of the iron ingots. Pressing. Move the player. Trying to see which way those are going. Nice jump. Alright, there was no need to have jumped there, but it was a safe thing to do. Well, it was getting quieter. I think it's getting as quiet as it's gonna get. Another desert temple. I tell you, it's either feast or famine with those. Now it'd be nice is that we get more diamonds. And we can move the player. Move the player. Too much. Much better. And this is why we gotta be careful. Fortunately, it's just a zombie. But that is not just a zombie. So how far out can we go? That might be a... I don't know if that's enough render distance. I mean... Yep, that cleared it. Simulation distance. You can move the player. Good. Junk. Good. We got our fill of the iron and fill of the iron. Pressing the X. Eat. Move the player. And I see a village. I don't know if you saw it on the far left, but there was a village, and of course we had to mess that jump up. Micro jumping, which of course helps to not move the player or anything. Not like that's important. Yeah, we need one more bed. I know there's room for 2, but I want to make room for apples if we've come across any of those. It just sounds so craptacular, but as I said, I plunked a lot of money into that dryer. I want to get what I can out of it. Well, this didn't work exactly right. But that did. That would have just been an inconvenient drop. Can't take chances. Although we do sometimes. The blind faith jump of stupidity, as I like to call it. Oh, look at that, another one of them things. But this one's buried, so we can't really go in the normal way. Again, we're doing this. Now we're kind of stuck in the middle. Place. Make sure we're all good. It's a bit far there, but... this way. Brake. Nothing. Little something. More of something. How about... use a little less of that though. Normally it's great. And finally we'll just take these two and place them randomly, sort of. Put that back there like so. Dave Grohl. No, we didn't. That lava almost blends right in. I can't imagine how badly orange this red sand would look with the Vibrant Cataracts update. I'm going to say, if I turn off the volumetric fog, it makes a world of difference. And that is just getting worse and way out of the way. So we got no choice but to play Mountain Climber. Over here, another natural staircase up. It was a smooth mountain, so we were able to get to the top pretty easily. And we did get to the not just barely, I just was too busy paying attention to silly things like where we're going and stuff. But we have crossed over the 7,600,000 zone. And we have zombies, so bed, sleep, thunderstorm. It actually kind of thunderstormed, sort of. The black clouds appeared. The only bad thing is if there's any skeletons or they're nearby, we can move the player. Went for the cheap experience. Nice jump. Glad the jump button did nothing. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, let's just toss away the junk. Alright, this works. Yeah, well, we shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Problem is, it looks like it's just gonna lead to another cavern, so might as well just follow this little bit, Dave Grohl it there, just to see where it goes. Again, this far out, running and boating go the same speed, so. And we're jumping! Again, does what it wants instead. Alright, we need to move the player. Not sure if I want to try this, but we're going to. Alright, that may have been a bad thing if we fell in it. Eat the food. Alright, here we're gonna have to slow. Oh yeah, definitely slow down. Bad that way. Okay, we can move the player, make the big number bigger. Alright, it looks like there's water under there, and we got a desert temple over there. I think we'll go for that. See if we can get any more... Oh, there's a mild drop that we didn't pay attention to. The mild drops, if we can jump, we can keep moving forward. Whereas just letting the player drop to the next level, it stops. I just like to do that now and then. Myself trapped. Brake, brake. I mean brake. Nothing there. Okay there. That's not right. Player moves forward. There we go. All right. Board the boat. Poke the boat. Little bread. Alright, I see that nether portal, ruined nether portal. Not gonna bother. We got enough golden apples at this point. If we get apples, then we can make a crap load more if we wanted to. Surprised this thing hasn't barked at me being at 15% battery yet. I didn't get a chance, or I totally forgot actually, to charge up the phone before I left work. Yeah, so well, I'm using the laundromat. It's just easier to, get my payday cash. Then, after that, go to the laundromat. Then I won't have to worry about it over the weekend. game does not know what to do here. There's nothing there. Just has that weird bounce up and down. And it's a cyclical thing, apparently. Till now. Alright, it's not cyclical, it just happens to be something goes a certain way and then kind of weird how that worked. Unfortunately, the one block this way will not work, so if this were 2 blocks wide, if this wasn't there, we would be able to boat our way through it. Precision error allows us to do that on north and south channels. They can be 1 block wide, and the boat will be able to get through. Yeah, I looked over far left. It's this just a little further back. It's just like this. No, don't like this. Oh, yeah, this isn't good. This is not good. Dave Grohl it. Fortunately, the precision's so bad east to west. This north to south bridge building works quite well. Yep, we can be moving the player. Oh, that could be bad. Oh, actually, there's water. It still would have stung. Grab this as we can. It's more than halfway there, so oh, there's our 15% warning. Actually, let's just board that to play it safe. Because I have the battery pack ready to go if the stinking cable wants to cooperate. And while I was fighting that, somehow that changed positions. It's also in a really bad spot too. Now I'm really holding this weird. Never mind just the wide stance thing. Now it's just downright uncomfortable. And we can jump. Alright, there's a village there. It is a massive project to get to. We're not super desperate yet. Watch this be a bad move, but we're going to, that's a bit of a project to get to. How about jumping? Ooh, did not know what I was jumping over there. Yeah, I don't see any smithies. Oh. Jump when jump is pressed. Boat the boat. Alright, it wasn't a bad idea. We got another village right here. Right there and there. Move the player. Move the player. There we go. There, perfect. I can trade with you one more time. Perfect full slot. So, okay, let's bring that back up. Alright, so free bed. Don't have to spend any of our own. Now we're going to get 2/3 of the way through this, at the very least. No, need to not be there. Alright, we're almost halfway towards the 7610 kilometer block. Of course, I measure full progress on the 10,000s. Yeah, I think I'll take the speed route over the much slower way to go. I see an opening. Of course, it goes any which way but the way I want. Ping pong over there is fine. Well, I was gonna see if that actually left. Yeah, I think this is just not continuing as I... Yeah, see, it's not continuing. Alright, let's play the game. I didn't press swords. Keep moving. Keep moving. We need to move the player one direction or the other. Yep, jumping. Nice jump. Worked the first time, but not the other time. Can't imagine why that would be. Somehow that made me move forward. Little more. Little more. I would take a Dave Grohl from that than the alternative, which would have been pretty painful, and we can move the player. How are we doing on coal? We're doing alright. Jumping. Ooh, that went pretty well. Don't know why, but it did. Yeah, how about the boat? How about the boat? It's pressing the boat. Oh, village. Village. How about breaking boat? Stupid lag spikes. Getting pretty bad in this version of the game now. Okay, we could use some apples. How is our armor doing? It's doing okay. I don't know if it works right or not. No, we don't. We can move the player. All right, and no more helpful stuff. Ah. Thought we'd get across, we didn't. That's about the boost we're getting here. so we're going to be able to do, this is our final sleep before we go to the game. Yeah, there'll be less than a minute to go when we finish. And final run. I do not think we're going to make it to 7610. If this ocean is pretty big, we probably can. But the ocean's gonna be pretty big. Between my fingers is enough to screw up my ability to move this thing. And a village. Well, we're not gonna make it there, but we can get some stuff we need. That'll be fine. How about we move the player instead of micro-jumping? Not this one. Well, that was a waste of time. Jump. Alright, that's a waste of time. This one, not so much. Alright, we get apples. We're actually full, so we don't need that. Place. It's gonna get somewhat close, but we're not gonna get there. Less than 1,000 to go. Maybe because of this big ocean, and we might just get across it. Or we could use some actual land at this point. Might be crap, but at least it's something. Although the bottom here isn't too bad. Oh well, I guess we're going to make it to this 7610 kilometer block after all. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and there we go. It's pretty close. And another village. Shall we go for it? It's a little further in, so a good spawn point. So we'll go a little further this way. We won't have to do as much climbing. But I know I wasn't seeing things. And we can jump. We can jump. I swore I saw a village. Now we can jump. Yeah, see, I knew I did see a village. We're jumping. Like the sun's about to go down anyway. This one, please. We got all the beds we want. We're pressing X. Tell you that wire in the middle of my fingers does not really work out. Alright, that's a useless building. Alright, so let's just do this. I know we're retrograding a bit, but oh, that's the useless building. Now, we don't really need any beds. More of those. Why not? Alright, it's almost, I'm gonna sleep it off camera. This is as far as we're getting today for this episode. 7,610,305. And this is one way, and I'll just set my point. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.